Hello, gentlemen. Marc.antomattei here with Gentleman Masterclass. I want to talk about a topic that's not really something that's meant for this channel, but it is the biggest outlet that I got. I do have other YouTube channels, but this seems to be the most appropriate one, not just in my subscriber base, but just thematically on where I should deliver this message at to try to reach the most amount of people. It's with a very heavy heart that I have to discuss the suicide of my best friend. At least at one point in time he was, and not that we've ever had a falling out or anything. I'm going to get to the full story because I want to recognize this guy's life and just put it out there, let the world know who he was. And right, I just want to talk about it and give him the farewell that he deserved, because I don't think any services have been prepared for him as far as I know. But oh man, we'll get into it. It's such a tough thing to talk about. Back when I was in high school, this is when I was a freshman in high school. At that point in time, I was only 15 years old, and I became 16 in my freshman year. So from 15 to 16 years old. But I had this friend, his name was Turnbull. And Arthur oh man, see, I don't even know how to say this stuff anymore. He was a half Japanese, half American person ethnically, and he's the first Japanese person that I've met face to face in my life and have become friends with, and he's introduced some aspects of Japanese culture to me that have played and became a contributing factor to me actually wanting to come to Japan and me coming to Japan. I can't say with all honesty he's the only reason that I'm here and the reason that I stayed, but it was because of him turning me on to some things. You know, he is a contributing factor to me coming to Japan. And I've been in Japan my whole adult life now for the past 18 years. I've been here since 20 years old, believe it or not. And now I'm 38 years old. But when I met Arthur Turnbull, ethnically, he is half Japanese, half American. But, you know, his citizenship, his nationality, he's just 100% American. In fact, I don't think he's ever set foot in Japan. There is a small possibility that he may have been born in Japan, but I highly doubt it. I think the thing is, his father was a serviceman in the United States Air Force, and I believe his father was here with the United States Air Force and met his mother, Mieko, and married her. And maybe he had maybe the father had his first child when he was in Japan, but the first child wouldn't have been him. It would have been his older sister. He has an older sister. So anyways, I believe Arthur was born in America. So he's 100% American, and he has never set foot in Japan, as far as I know. But to say the least, he's my friend. He introduced me to Japanese culture. He's a contributing factor to me coming here. And we were good friends throughout my freshman year. My freshman year, he was my best friend. I mean, we talk about all the things that teenagers talk about. We talked about comic books. We were excited about Blade with Wesley Snipes, the very first one coming to the movie theater. And we were discussing how hyped we were for that movie. And then after the fact, when it came to theaters and we watched it and we would talk about it at school in gym class. I mean, we just used to shoot the shit all the time in gym class. Not even play sports, just be chatty patties. And it was fun. And man, I remember I spent the night at his house probably a couple of times, played video games, just had a lot of fun. He was just an all-around good dude. And I really enjoyed spending time with him. And then the next year when I became a sophomore inside the 10th grade, it's like he just up and just disappeared. There was no Facebook at this time, and I don't even think I had his regular phone number, but I didn't have a cell phone where I could just pick up and just call him and say, hey, where are you? What happened to you? It's like, so anyways, he just up and disappeared. And there's either one or two things happen with that. One, I can only speculate that potentially, I'm not saying that this is the case, but potentially that I know of, he could have either just dropped out of high school, which would be sad, and I hope he didn't do that. Man, it's just, doesn't even matter anymore. Just thinking about this, it just messes me up in my head. So maybe he potentially dropped out of high school, or just the other thing is maybe he moved, and that's why I never seen him anymore inside of school. And that was the reason that we separated. It's not like we got into any arguments or anything like that. It's just he just up and disappeared. But to say the least, I've been thinking about this guy since I was 16 years old. For the past 22 years, I've been searching for this guy. Always looking for him, trying to talk to friends that may know him to see if they know where he could be at, and absolutely nothing. And when Facebook came on the scene in like 2005, 2006, something like that, I didn't join the platform until 2007, 2008. But even from the early time that I jumped on the platform, I was always looking for this guy. And I swear, as early as last month, I'm typing in his name inside of Facebook, trying to just locate him. And it's just, unfortunately, there's just too many people with the same first and family name as him. Unbelievably, you don't think that there would be that many Arthur Turnbulls in the world, but apparently there's a lot of people in British people with that name in the UK, but I just could never find him, and I couldn't find anybody that knows him. So to no avail, I could not locate my friend. And I just got the news. I just woke up yesterday, and my other best friend from high school, who I knew simultaneously at the same time as him, but I knew this guy for a much longer duration period of time, he just said, hey man, I got some bad news to tell you. He said, Arthur Turnbull had passed away. He committed suicide. And I was just devastated to hear the news. And I had just woken up, and I was kind of in a little bit of a state of disbelief. But, you think about it for 5 minutes or so, I just couldn't go back to sleep. I was really tired. I was up all night the night before doing some things, editing videos, just doing stuff. And I barely even slept 4 hours. And I just woke up in the middle of the daytime at like 8 a.m. And I checked my messages, and I saw that, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. I needed answers. Since I had something to go on, like kind of the time frame that he passed away, which is like in this year, within the last few months, and knowing that it was a suicide, I had something to look for with a Google search using his name and his death and his age. And wow, sure enough, I had found a GoFundMe from the job that he was working at. And it looks like his two superiors, the owners of the Japanese restaurant that he worked at, they were trying to get some money so that they can give him a proper funeral. They said he has no family. Let me go ahead and click on that real quick, because I want to say exactly what they said. So she says, my name is Stephanie, and I worked with Arthur at Yamato's Japanese Steakhouse in Gainesville, Florida. Arthur passed away sometime Friday night, August 20th, 2021. Arthur had no family or siblings. His parents and grandparents had passed years before due to cancer or other health problems. All right, let me finish this first before I say my own thoughts. Since there is no one to claim him and put him to rest, at Yamato's Japanese Steakhouse, we was all family and was the only family he had, as this is very important to us as a family. And I pray that to all whom read this, if you have it in your heart, anything would be helpful for the proceeds for his funeral, and any remaining funds will go towards National Children's Hospital for Children with Cancer. This is a non-profit. This is for our friend and our family. Thank you. And they raised almost $2,000 out of a $3,500 goal from 29 donors. And I'm going to put in $40 here shortly as soon as I get off of this thing. So you'll see my name down there inside the comment section, and I'll leave something to say about him. I was his best friend, so, you know, he only has 2 comments inside of here. It's just, I feel like I as his best friend, I owe it to him to give him the send-off that he deserves. But yeah, he was a troubled person. And it's not like he was really a bad person or he was doing anything bad inside of his life, dibbling and dabbling in drugs, I don't think. He was just troubled. Both of his parents had died early. Through searches for him in the last 5 years, you know, I try to search him out at least once every 6 months just to see if he would just pop up. You know, I could find information about his parents, but I could not find his physical address or his phone number or his email address. Those are the specifics that I'm looking for so that I can reach out to him and say, hey, I miss you, man. Where are you at? I'd like to come to the States and visit you sometime the next time I'm there, but I could just never get a hold of him. But searches for him, I had found that both of his parents had died young. His American father, who I mentioned earlier in the video, that was in the United States Air Force, he was retired long ago, but he had died within the last 10 years, and he died at the early age of 61 years old. And I believe he had cancer. And then I found out that his mother had died as well, and I believe maybe she had cancer as well, and she died at the young age of 59 years old. And you think about that. Well, Arthur passed away at 39, but at the time that his parents passed away, he was a little bit younger than that. Just to be a young man inside of either your late 20s or your early 30s and to have both of your parents go, and I guess they're like his only lifeline in this life, man, that could be devastating for a kid like this. And man, I really feel sympathy for him. And I wish he would have made the attempt to reach out for me as well, but maybe he didn't remember my last name. Of course, he would definitely remember me if he saw me face to face, or if I got to speak to him, he would remember me 100%. But just, you know, I got one of those last names that after 20 years, if you haven't seen me for 22 years, you're not going to remember how to spell my last name. It might even slip your mind, and you're not going to know how to reach out and try to search for somebody like me, Antomattei. So, man, I wish you could have found me as well. But I tried to find him, and there's nothing I can do. It just makes me so sad. And what do I want to say? I left a big message out on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, and 46 people had left their condolences and said that they're sorry to hear about this. I put up his picture on my page just to try to bring some recognition to his life, give him a send-off, and I'm just so sad to hear it. I'm 38 years old, and he makes for the second person that I've known in my entire life that has committed suicide. The first person, I went to the Middle East with the United States Air Force in 2005, and I was a security escort there in Abu Dhabi in the UAE for 4 months. And I had 2 superiors when I was out there. You know, we were a small unit of about 60 people, and the group that we was with had 60. Sorry, I just made a mistake. Had 2 superiors, and the second in command guy. The very next year after we get back from the Middle East, he had passed on. And that wasn't even due to the military that made him do that. I'm not sure if it was true. I'm not putting his name out there, so I'm not really trying to disrespect him or bring any shame upon his name or anything like that. It's not shameful what I don't know what to say. You know, he had problems in his life, and the word around was that I think he had found out that his wife was cheating on him, and that was a devastating thing for him. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but that's what I heard from other people, and that's what pushed him over the edge. And he had committed suicide in 2006. And I was devastated to hear that news, but I wasn't as close to that guy as I was Arthur. That guy in the military was really nice, though. And I remember he used to say to me all the time before I used to go out every single day, if he saw me, and just even being out inside the sun all day as a security escort, he would always say, hey, you guys be careful out there. Hey, you be careful out there. Take care of yourself. That was like his trademark phrase, was just to care and just to deliver that message, to be vigilant and to stay safe. He doesn't want anything to happen to us. And it really came across every time he said that. You would feel it because it was authentic, the way you knew that he meant it. And it just felt so good to hear it. So I'm sorry for both of these guys. Nobody needs to be put inside the situation where they should be considering about ending things. Life should not get that bad for you. If it does, you got to try to reach out to somebody. Whether they're a close friend or not, you got to reach out to somebody. I'm sure there's somebody that's out there that's willing to help. I would have tried to help this guy to the best of my ability had I known he had been going through some things. I wouldn't have been as good of a therapist, but who knows? Being somebody that he knows personally, maybe I could have been as effective as a therapist, just to tell him what he needs to hear, just to keep him going. And man, don't let this happen to your friends. Keep up with everybody. Be on the lookout for them. Just make sure that they take care of themselves. I mean, we all got problems in life. Some of us can deal with them better than others. But then and there again, some of us have bigger problems than others. And you don't know what somebody else is going through. But just try to console them. And I want to tell my friends, my personal friends, if you know me personally, reach out to me if you're ever in trouble. I can't promise that I can help you, but I'll try to help you to the best of my ability. Whether it does something for you or not, I'm willing to do my best to make sure that you're taken care of. Anyways, I'm looking at my Facebook posts now, and I'm looking at these reply comments. Just what do I even say, man? Just take care of yourself and take care of one another. That's all I can say. It's the best message I got. I know I didn't deliver it as eloquent as I would have liked to, but I said what I had to. And Arthur, I recognize you. We see you, fam, and take care of yourself on the other side, man. I'm hoping that I could see you again at some point in time. Salute to you, man. Salute to you, everyone out there in the world. Be kind to one another, and as always, gentlemen, keep it classy.